I'm Dutch and it's gorgeous today. I snuck out and I'm going to do some vlogging. We're going to talk about one of my favorite subjects, and that is hammock hangs. What they are, how you can find them, what to expect, and there are all different types of styles of them. So I think they are quite unique to this industry. I'm sure there's other groups that do campouts and things like that, but I don't know, it just feels different than just a campout when you go to a hammock hang. There are friendly people that want to show you their gear, and I'll get more into that later. But so I think these started, maybe 15 years ago. I know Maha was one of the very first ones. They started around the same time as Mount Rogers Winter Hangs, which was one that was also very near and dear. I remember going and there was like 10 of us, and at the time hammock camping was new and people didn't have very much winter gear. And I remember Pan from DwR&x Better saying, we are the only 11 people that are crazy enough to come out here and have good enough gear to come out here in the middle of winter. Things have changed in that 15 years, and now lots of people go out for winter hangs. But some of the reasons why these are really special, you can go to one, I go to ones in the Midwest, and I will see many of the same people that I see here in the East. I go down south, people drive long distances to go to these. And the reason is, man, the camaraderie. I just got back from one, and this is kind of what has been the catalyst to this, is I just came back from one. It was the Eclipse Hang. We just had the eclipse come across North America, and I looked around me and I was like, wow, I'm seeing this incredible event, and I'm doing it with 50 of my friends that are from all around the country that I only get to see a couple times a year. So it's even that more special. It is not just a camp out, but there's often events that are going on. Sometimes you hike into the event. Sometimes it's parked right where you camp. I have quite a few of my favorites. Palmetto State Hangars has some great ones down south. Neha, I'm sorry Neha, I haven't been there in a couple years. It seems like you always schedule them on weekends that I'm busy, but I'm gonna get back up there. But the people that I've met there, I consider lifelong friends, and that is like many of the hangs. MAHA, which stands for Mid-Atlantic Hammock Hangers Association, can barely even say it, but literally that was meant to be a joke when it was made up. They were trying to make a ridiculously long name, and I don't think that when we did that we knew, I don't know, 17 years later that we would still be doing it. But I can tell you that there would not be a DutchWare if it wasn't for Maha. Now I'm 100% certain. Part of the allure of this whole industry is the community and how I have grown close to people. Don Gravitz from DwR&x Better, who has acquired DwR&x Better. I think it was maybe 2005, 2006. I went down to trail days with him and I met him at Maha, and I'm like, sure, let's go. And we went down, and I mean, how would I know that here I am so many years later? There was one that I went on to that had the infamous Shug on it. And this is before I was DutchWare. Also on that same hang, there was some really great people that I met there. One of them being Adam from Hammock Gear. And this is before there was a hammock gear. It was, and it's quite coincidental that now we have grown into companies, and but still we get together. The mother of all hangs is HangCon, which I forget the number. I think it was 400 people actually showed up for the event. I think there was 8 people that were supposed to go, but then it rains, and that usually deters people quite a bit. Honestly, anything more than 50 people, you can't really talk to anybody. You can't talk to any individual enough as it is. And I like the under 50 crowd if I can help it. So what to expect and why to go to these? You know, if you've never been to one, you're gonna find very inviting people, and there's gonna be people just like you that are not knowing anybody. It is really easy to fit in and put some effort towards pulling up a chair and starting conversation. One thing about hammock hangers is they love to show their gear. So that is a great way to start conversation. Hey, you have a beautiful tarp, and can I try your hammock? And people will let you lay in their hammock. I have never seen a situation where that is 100% not true. They want to show it off. And they invest a lot of money in this stuff, and they're very proud of their rigs, and they've been building their rigs almost like a car show. So you're going to find friendly people. Very often there's going to be a potluck dinner, or maybe they are preparing a meal and some people are bringing sides, things of that nature. You can find out the specs on that beforehand. Very often there's a sign-up sheet. On the sign-up sheet they're asking for what can I bring, and if you are just bringing plates or bottles of water, that is fine. Sometimes all these events are paid for by dues. There's a couple clubs that do that, and sometimes there's a small amount of money that you have to pay. It has never been any type of a financial burden at all. And many cases, such as Maha, the whole thing is paid for by raffle donations, and the raffle donations are given very often by small cottage vendors. I mean, they pay for the materials, they put in the time, and they build stuff, and then it raffles off. So if you have $20, $40, you go there, you get raffle tickets, and you might win a $200 quilt. Then all the money goes into paying for the hang, the food, and such. But very often, such as Maha, we go and we donate anything left over, and we clean the books twice a year, and we give it to, very often it's wilderness charities, based often on kids getting out to the woods. One of my favorites is just to give to the Cub Scouts, and we don't give to just Boy Scouts of America or something like that. We go to the individual clubs, because I feel like the money is best given there to buy supplies and to get the kids out camping. So that's kind of a rundown on why it's done. It all started, I think, from hammock forums, and in the beginning of this community and this industry and this hobby, hammock forums was so instrumental. It's still a great place to go and chat. They put in an air of respect that you don't see on other forums, and certainly not on Facebook. When you went there and you were talking on there, it taught you to be nice and kind to one another. And I always have felt that has continued into the hangs, and they stay away from discussions that would be controversial and things like that, which is just wise to do. But also the respect that people give each other is actually that I miss now in today's social media and things of that nature. But they were very instrumental in getting people together and how to find these locations. So I'm very proud to be able to have the Hammock Hangers calendar. It's right on my page. We're going to be putting a link in this video or this post or however you are getting this. And this is done completely free. We keep this updated, and there is a calendar and an interactive map. So you can find one on a weekend that you're off, on a date. You can find one that's close on the map, and you can attend these. Very often you have to open them up, and there's some form of a sign-up sheet, whether that's through Facebook or Google Docs or what have you, but you get the limited amount of instructions that you need to get the process started, and then you click on there, and then however they handle it is how they handle it, and that is on them, and they should do it by their rules. But sometimes they limit the amount of people that can come, and you'll find out if there's a sign-up sheet, if you're allowed dogs, what to expect, where it's at, the times you can show up, and when everybody has to be gone by. And even if you're just thinking about this, click on this map, check it out, and you're going to be able to interactively work with the calendar to find one that's near you. Maybe you don't have a hammock, go to an event and just spend Saturday afternoon there, and you're going to get the feel for it, and you're going to get to see rigs, and you're going to get to meet some really nice people. So what to expect? Well, very often we're going to these state parks, or maybe there's private land that we go to, and we have to go very often by the rules and regulations that are there. So it's not always dog friendly. Sometimes it is. For Maha this year, we're actually doing it at a paintball place. They also have airsoft, so we are going to play paintball and airsoft, and man, that is going to be a lot of fun. Then generally on particularly a Saturday evening, very often Friday evening, there is a meal, and it's like a community meal, whether it's prepared or everybody's bringing in. I have had some of the most delicious food, some of them that are really fantastic. Trailheads, John, shout out to you, John Rammel. He's a trained chef and he's making up a lot of really awesome food. But there's people that are coming in with, oh, they have smokers pulled behind their, first time I saw this was at New Jersey Winter Hang. And I used to really enjoy this one. It always winds up, again, being at a bad time for me. Here comes somebody with a smoker pulled behind their truck. And, you know, we had smoked pork butts or brisket or whatever. You know, there's people that really enjoy doing that and doing that for people. I know I consider when you share food with someone, that's like giving love to them. So that's my love sign. And I think this comes from through hiking, that there's no better gift that you can give somebody than, after a long day of hiking, here's a candy bar that I've been carrying for 50 miles and you can have it. So food is always a big part of it. There's midnight bacon and there's morning bacon, and there's a lot of bacon, a lot of pork products and baked goods. People bring in some really great stuff. So nothing brings a community together like that. Very often there's some hiking groups that'll get together. I've been to some of these hangs and they're actually a kayak event and you're gonna float. One of my favorite hangs that I have done, and this was truly amazing, and I just did it last fall, and that is the Japan chameleon hang. It was all chameleon hammocks and it was at the base of Mount Fuji, and wow, what an honor it was. How fantastic was it to go to Tokyo and see that city and that culture. And if you ever have an opportunity, I highly recommend it. And this gives you another reason to adventure. I've gone out west, I've certainly gone down south, and I make these, if I can attend, I will attend one a month. That's how much I enjoy doing these. So I really highly recommend, especially if you're new, to get to one of these events and discover this community, because this community is fantastic. And the way we share and we laugh together is, well, it's absolutely priceless. Generally, they last a weekend. Maybe there's a one-day run over from Thursday or to Monday, but then everybody's got to go back and got to get back to work and do what they've got to do in this life. And this is a great respite from doing that. So check out the calendar, find something in your area, and